Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the What If Project vlog. My name is Glenn Seipert. I'm the host of the show, the voice behind the podcast, the fingers behind the blog. I've got coffee. Did you bring your coffee today? I brought mine. Hope you brought yours. This is the fourth one of these that we've released out into the public arena. The graphic says it's the 40-somethingth. I don't remember which one it is, but that's true. But the past ones have been for Patreon supporters. So usually we would release these for Patreon supporters, and that's it. But now I've had some people say, well, sometimes you say stuff that's helpful. So maybe a wider audience would benefit from being able to hear this stuff. And so we're giving an experiment for the rest of the year, shooting these out to the public arena, public sphere, and we'll see if anybody finds them helpful. If they get some likes, they get some dislikes, they get some views, whatever. We'll see what happens, and we'll regroup at the end of the year, and we'll either keep doing it or we'll put it away and we'll cook up another idea. But welcome. I'm happy that you're here. I hope that you're doing well. These go out to Patreon supporters on Saturday, and everybody else on a Wednesday. So y'all, as we said on here in the South, get on a Wednesday. Everybody else gets it on Saturday. Today, I wanted to read for you an email that I got. It's not a bad email. Sometimes I get those. Sometimes I get bad emails. Maybe one day I'll read one of those to you. But typically the ones that come in are encouraging, where someone will ask me a question. They'll make a comment about a podcast, like, hey, this was a really great episode. Thank you so much. Sometimes they'll ask me a question about my life, about my faith. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I got this email, and I thought it would be helpful. I already gave the answer to the person, but I thought it'd be helpful if I read it to you and gave you my answer, because I think that this question is probably a question that a lot of other people are asking. Like, if this person's asking it, and this person is a regular listener of the podcast, that tells me that probably other people are asking the same kind of question. So, but let me preface it with this. I'm not giving you this answer because I think I know it all, because I don't. Okay. A couple of weeks ago, I said in one of the vlogs that the What If Project is a lifeboat that's traveling behind the ship of evangelicalism, the ship of the church, whatever. And we're just picking up people who jumped off or thrown off, whatever. And it's a lifeboat, right? It's like made of wood. It's like barely floating. We got a whole lot of people in here, and we're all just trying to make it to shore. We're trying to just survive out here in the water and in the storm and in the waves and everything else. And we're just trying to find land. And I'm in the boat with you, right? I'm not guiding the ship. I'm not the captain of the ship, the ship of the huge cruise ship. I'm just down here in the lifeboat, holding on for dear life. And so this question, again, I'm not telling you this is my answer, might not be the best answer, but maybe there'll be a small something that will help somebody cut away the fat, take the meat, or just throw the whole thing in the garbage, right? Whatever. But anyway, here's the question. And of course, the person will remain anonymous. And here we go. Let's see. My iPad doesn't recognize my finger. Here we go. Okay. So the person says, hi, Glenn. What do you do with the doubts that come with leaving the mainstream Christian school of thought? So this person comes from an evangelical world, like I do, like many of you do. So for them, mainstream Christian thought is like evangelical theology. We're all born sinners, bad. God's mad at our sin. And so he took out his sin on Jesus, or took out his anger on Jesus. Jesus died for our sins. We believe in him, we go to heaven. We don't, we go to hell. If he might come back before we die and rapture us away, like all those different kind of things, right? What do you do when you leave that thought, you leave that behind, you're deconstructing it, and the doubt comes in? And then the person asks, do you have a routine such as journaling, etc., to kind of help you process through the stuff? Okay. So what do you do when the doubt comes through? First of all, we've got to ask ourselves, well, why is there doubt to begin with? Where does this doubt come from? Well, the doubt comes because we've been told to distrust everybody outside of the bubble. right? The church bubble, the evangelical bubble, our tribe, right? Everything inside of this bubble right here, everything in there, that's the acceptable theology, acceptable doctrines, acceptable books that you can read, the churches you can go to, the pastors you can listen to, everything else. If anything comes to you from outside of that bubble, reject it, right? For instance, Rob Bell, right? He wrote the book Love Wins. He wrote a whole bunch of other books. He is outside of the bubble. Don't you dare entertain anything that man or anybody like him has to say. If it goes near the bubble, push him out. He is outside of the bubble. So we're told to distrust anything that's outside of that bubble. And so now that we're deconstructing and we're entertaining Rob Bell, we're entertaining a Brian McLaren, entertaining Diana Butler Bass, Barbara Brown Taylor, all these other kinds of progressive thinkers who are outside of the bubble, this doubt comes up. I can't do that. Right? There's that inner voice. And it says, I can't listen to Rob Bell. Right? He's off limits. I can't listen to these people. We go, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Right? There's times when you read this, you're like, oh my goodness, this is amazing, right? Why didn't I think of this? Well, why is this so bad? But then when you put it away and you go about your day, sometimes that thought creeps up as, I can't read that. What if Rob Bell is wrong? Oh my goodness, what have I done? Right? Why have I gone outside of the bubble? This happens to me all the time. Recently with the whole topic of the rapture and the end times, because like 2020 was a disaster. I was talking to my wife about this the other day. 2020, obviously disaster, right? Pandemic, fires, hurricanes, all sorts of crazy things, right? And a lot of people from my old tribe were posting things like on Facebook, like, better get ready, better get right with Jesus, right? Because he's coming back. He's on the doorstep. He's knocking on the door. This is it. He's coming. We get right with the Lord because he's coming back. This is the end. We're going to heaven. I hope you're ready. Hope you said the prayer, right? And it was all over the place. And I mean, I read the stuff, I scroll by, it's ridiculous, right? I can't believe I used to believe that. But then there's those times in the quietness of my own thoughts. Maybe I'm out mowing the lawn. Maybe I'm sitting on the couch watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse with my daughter. And that thought will creep in of, what if he really is coming back? What if all this stuff that you've been learning and that you've kind of evolved into, what if you're really devolving? What if all of that's wrong? And there's that voice. I don't know if you can hear that. That's my dog upstairs yakking on something. There it is. Done. Anyway, and there's that voice that's like, what if, right? What if you're wrong? What if you're not evolving? What if you're devolving? Again, there he goes. He got it. Anyway, what if you're devolving instead of evolving? And what if all these people are wrong? What if, right? And there's the doubt that creeps in. And again, the doubt comes from the distrust. We've been told to distrust everybody outside the bubble, people, science, whatever, anything that's outside of the bubble. Don't trust it. And so now when you start to trust it, you start to feel doubt. And so what do? I do a couple things. Number one is I've come to recognize that the doubt inside is really just a smaller version of myself, my inner child, if you will. My inner child is about fourth, fifth, sixth grade, and he was told all about hell, all about the end times, all about so many different traumatic things. And that boy still lives inside of me. And so when I sense doubt, I sense fear, I sense anxiety around these kinds of things, I've come to realize that that's just little Glenn crying out for help. He's afraid. And so I've had to be really intentional with speaking to myself and say to myself, say to that younger version of myself, listen, I know that we were told that this is forbidden territory. Okay. But you've got to trust me. Okay. I need you to think about the things that we were taught to believe. Okay, let's think about hell. Well, let's think about the rapture. Okay, the rapture. Does it make sense, little man, that God, who the Bible says that we've both been taught to read, says that God is love? Does it make sense that if God is love, that he's going to take only a very small fraction of the world with him to heaven and leave everybody else behind to be destroyed by fire or flood? Does that make any sense? Forget the Bible verses. Forget that for a second. Okay? Does it make sense that a God of love would do that? Then I'll say this. Let's think about all the experiences that you and I have had with God over the course of my life. And I'll replay different things, different memories in my head of just moments when I know that I have connected with God in a very unique way. Are any of those situations, any of those memories, anything but love? Are any of those memories anything at all other than an experience of love and grace and mercy and encouragement and comfort from the divine? And I have to just remind myself, speak to myself in this way to almost like calm the nerves of my inner child. And say, listen, doesn't this feel so much better than what we've been taught? Speak to my inner child. The second thing I do is I read a lot of stuff. I try to read very wide variety of things, but I try to read a lot of stuff by real progressive Christian thinkers. So again, think of Brian McLaren. Think of I wouldn't say Rob Bell. I don't know if he identifies as a Christian more, but Rob Bell. Think of people like Pete Enns. Listen to different podcasts by these people, all that kind of stuff. I try to read widely because the more I read of these Christian thinkers who are thinking in more progressive ways, the more it reminds little Glenn inside that big Glenn on the outside has not lost his mind, that he's not just going off the rails by himself, but that there are other people who are thinking this stuff. And the more little Glenn feels less alone, the more that little Glenn's nerves begin to subside. And he begins to realize that, oh, yeah, we're not alone in this. There are other people, very advanced people, thinkers, scholars, theologians, writers, pastors, whatever, who are thinking this stuff. So clearly we're not too far outside of the lines, right? Where there's other people here on the field with us. And that makes little Glenn inside feel better. So I try to read a lot to feel less alone. That's what I'm trying to say. Third thing is I try to bring my thoughts, my doubts to a community, to a safe place. And we don't go to church. I've been to church in 4 years. I don't know if I'll ever go to church again for a variety of reasons. And maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. But we have a online community. We have our Facebook community. It's got 300 people in it. We've got a Marco Polo group that's got like 15 or so people in it. We send videos back and forth. We also have a Facebook chat with that group as well. And these are the places I go. Sometimes I'll read about other people's doubts, listen to other people talk about their doubts, and I'll just lay low in the background and just observe. Sometimes I bring my own doubts there. Sometimes I'll go there and I'll post something. It's because I'm trying to process through something. So I post it there and I share it with people. And I receive their thoughts about it. Sometimes it's just straight up encouragement. Sometimes it's, this is, somebody will say, this is how I thought about this. This is my experience with this. This is a resource that's helped me. I bring my stuff to a community, and it's a virtual community, and that's fine. But that's where I go. That's where I bring stuff. And again, it makes me feel less alone. It makes me feel less crazy. And so those are the 3 things I do. That's it. I talk to my inner child, I read widely, and I bring my stuff, my doubts, my uncertainties to these groups. And I also listen and read what other people are feeling uncertain about as well, and helps me feel less crazy and helps me feel less alone. So anyway, in that complete rambling of an answer, I hope that it has something resonated with you a little bit. Like I said, cut away the fat, take away the meat, or just throw the whole thing in the trash and never listen to the vlog again. But I hope that this helped you a little bit. I hope it inspired you. And yeah, that's all I got. I don't have any notes. I don't think I was going to say anything else. I think that was it. Yeah, that's it, my friends. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.